everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing very well today. Happy Vlogmas. I hope that you're enjoying Vlogmas so far, and I hope that you're enjoying my daily uploads and enjoying all of the content that I have filmed and uploaded for you guys. All of the support that you have provided me so far throughout Vlogmas is definitely appreciated. So today's video is going to be a fun one. First off, I did do a little bit of a holiday look today and I'm really enjoying it. I just felt a little festive and I wanted to take advantage of the fact that it's the holidays, so I wanted to wear a red lip. I also wanted to play around with a more kind of like glam eye look. I did a wing. I never do winged eyeliner, but today I did. But today we have a little bit of a fun one because I actually revisited one of the videos that I posted last year during Vlogmas, and it was the video about 2019 versus 2020 favorites. So kind of like the video, like, you know, last year's favorites, where are they now? Are they still favorites? Do I still enjoy them? And so forth. So I thought I would do that strictly with 2020. I'm not going to talk about my favorites from this year because I want to do an entire separate video just on, you know, 2021 favorites and makeup discoveries that are my favorites from the year 2021. So this is probably going to be a long video, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so some of the products I no longer have, and for those products, I will put them on the screen for you guys. But for the products that I do have, I have pulled them out from my collection and I will be sure to feature them in the video. So my favorite primer from last year, one of them was the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. You guys know how I feel about this primer. It is definitely still a favorite of mine. I thoroughly enjoy this one. I think it's kind of like an all-in-one primer. It smooths, it fills in pores, it's blurring, and it makes your makeup last longer. So this is just a primer that does, it's pretty much the jack of all trades. So that is still a favorite. A primer that I also still have that I really still enjoy was the Benefit, the Hydrating Professional. I just have a mini here. I actually purchased a full size that's brand new off of Poshmark, so I'm really excited to finally have the full size within my collection. But I love this primer. I discovered it through Ipsy. I'm really glad that I did, so that, you know, it was just nice to be able to discover a love through Ipsy, because without that, I probably never would have tried it. So that was a favorite from 2020, and I'm still loving it. And then a primer that I don't have anymore is the Milani Soft Focus Complexion Enhancer Primer. I will put a picture on the screen. That was a beautiful primer, but it was getting a little bit older in my collection, and I just wasn't loving it as much. I felt like it just wasn't something that I was gravitating towards very much, so I went ahead and just decluttered it. I decluttered it probably maybe like 4 or 5 months ago at this point, and that's just not a favorite. It probably hasn't been a favorite until 2020 or since 2020, so I don't have that one anymore. So now getting into foundation, I actually don't have this one either. This is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer. This was a favorite of mine in 2020. It was something that I purchased throughout the year last year, and I really liked it. I think it was a beautiful tinted moisturizer, and I thought that it left a really smooth, just kind of like filtered look on your skin, even though it was a tinted moisturizer. The reason I don't have that anymore is because mine actually went bad, and I've noticed that a lot about ColourPop products. I feel like they tend to go bad pretty quickly. That foundation or tinted moisturizer separated, and it was kind of all like oily, and it was really hard for me to kind of shake it back all together. So I went ahead and just decided to throw that away because I didn't want to cause myself to break out from that one. So maybe one day I will repurchase it, but I have a lot of tinted moisturizers currently in my collection, so that one, while I love it, I recommend it. It does go bad fairly quickly, so if you have a lot of, you know, foundations in your collection, maybe keep that in mind. But for now, you know, it's just not in my collection. A foundation that I still have, actually the rest from here foundation wise, I have these still. I did mention the Profusion Feel Good Skin Longwear Foundation. This one, while it's not my favorite, I still like it. I actually had it in like like my chopping block, like little box that I keep, you know, to the side where I get ready. And I tried it again recently and I actually really liked it. I thought it held up very well. And the only issue that I have with this one is it's a thicker kind of like moussey formula. So I feel like I have to just kind of blend it into my skin with my fingers first and then go in with the sponge. So once I do that, I'm able to make this foundation work for me, and I still think it's a really great one, and it's also very affordable. So check this one out at Walmart if you are curious. And then I did mention as well the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hydrating Foundation. This is actually a beautiful foundation. It's still one of my favorites. I should probably get to using this one up because, like I said, with ColourPop products, I do notice that they tend to go bad They tend to go bad pretty quickly. And so I might need to focus in on this one next year, but this is a stunning foundation. It is so beautiful. I love that it's a little bit more like liquidy in consistency because that tends to be what I you know, gravitate towards within foundations, and I feel like that consistency within a foundation tends to apply very nicely on my skin. So really love this one, and it's still a favorite for sure. And then I'm actually shocked that I mentioned this one, but maybe I did use it a lot more than I thought. But this is the Believe Beauty Foundation. Let me switch the cap a little bit because mine was a little dirty, but I have the shade Nude in this one, and this is a stunning foundation. This is absolutely beautiful. It's also very long wearing, and it gives you that beautiful kind of like medium to full coverage, and it's more of a natural finished foundation. Love this one. And the fact that it's only $5, that you can pick it up at Dollar General, that's amazing. I love that about the Believe Beauty brand. But yeah, this one is still a favorite, and I thoroughly enjoy it still. Then my favorite concealer for 2020 was, of course, the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I think it's crazy that this released in 2020, but it did. It just feels like because so many people love it and because so many people still use it, that it came out like 2 years ago. But no, it came out in 2020. I still love this one. I'm honestly shocked that I haven't finished this yet. I think because it comes with so much product. And I will say, I hate how saturated the doe foot gets with this product. I feel like it's a little bit messy. So I still love this one. I still think it performs so well, especially for a $6 concealer. But you know, there is one that I definitely discovered this year that I really love as well. So I will mention that in the other video, but this is still one of my holy grails for sure. And in 2020, I actually mentioned that I didn't have a favorite powder. I was focused on trying to finish up a lot of my loose powders last year, and so that's probably why. I do have some favorite powders for 2021, so I will be sure to talk about those in that video, so stay tuned. Now moving on, because again, I have a lot of products here. My favorite bronzer was the Milk Makeup Cream Bronzer Stick. I have the shade Baked. This is still very loved on my channel. You guys know this. I love this. This is definitely, I don't think ever not going to be a favorite, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I still love this one. Great for special occasion makeup. And if you're wanting your makeup to last very long, that is a great option for that. And then my favorite like liquid blush was the Flower Beauty Blush Balm in the shade Cinnamon. So this was, I since have picked up a new one because I accidentally sold mine on Poshmark. Like I was selling a different shade of the blush balms and I accidentally packaged the cinnamon one that I owned. So this is a new one that I purchased this year. I still like this. I especially love the shade. However, this isn't my favorite liquid blush formula anymore. I tend to prefer cream blushes. These are still very high up there though when it comes to liquid blushes, but I of course like love the Rare Beauty ones, and there are just so many cream and liquid blushes that came out this year in 2021 that this one kind of got pushed a little bit to the side, but this is still a beautiful formula. And then another cream blush favorite of mine last year was the Tower 28 Beach Please blush in the shade Magic Hour. Mine looks a little gross, so I do apologize for that, but this shade Magic Hour is absolutely stunning. And I will say I didn't get as much use out of this cream blush this year as I thought I would. This is definitely a color that I think is perfect for spring and summer, but I feel like because this texture of the blush is very, very creamy and almost like balmy. It's very pigmented, and sometimes it can get a little bit messy. It can like really like oversaturate my brush sometimes, that it can definitely affect the way that it applies. So that's partly, you know, why I don't use it as much, but it's still a really great blush, and it's also very long wearing throughout the day as well. And then of course I mentioned that in 2020 I loved my Essence blushes, and I did mention the 2 shades Bespoke and Beloved from the blush line from Essence. These are still favorites of mine, and since then in this year I did pick up the shade Befitting. This one is actually my favorite, so I still love the Essence blushes. I don't think they're gonna be 2021 favorites though. I still love them, don't get me wrong, but again, there were just so many blushes that came out this year, especially cream and liquid ones. So these are definitely still top within my collection, but I don't know if they were 2021 favorites, but I still really love the Essence blushes, and I love how affordable they are. Then I have 2 highlighters to mention, and I picked up the Rare Beauty Liquid Luminizer last year, and I picked up the shade Enlighten. Such a beautiful, beautiful liquid highlighter. As you can see, I have a lot of these products still, which says a lot. I really haven't decluttered a lot of these favorites. I've noticed a little bit about myself. I tend to stick to my favorites for a long period of time, which is, I guess, is a good thing. But this one is absolutely beautiful. I think for a liquid highlighter, it's one of the best out there, because I feel like I struggle with liquid highlighters sometimes with getting them to show up, especially, you know, once I've powdered. And of course, for the longevity, I feel like cream highlighters last pretty well in my skin, but not liquid highlighters, and this one definitely does. And the shade Enlighten is just stunning. Then I have a powder highlighter that I mentioned, and that is the Benefit Cookie highlighter. And I'm really shocked that I chose this one, if I'm being honest. This one is really, really beautiful. It's super beaming. I actually wore it in my like get ready with me for my graduation video. So if you want to see it in action, check out that video. I'm pretty sure that one is going up before this one, but this is still a beautiful highlighter. I don't think, again, it's part of my 2021 favorites, but I still think that it's a great highlighter. I think that it's very beaming. I absolutely love the shade of Cookie. So I obviously have it, so I obviously still love it. Now we're getting into some brow products. So one of the brow products I do not have, and that is the Benefit Goof Proof. I actually kind of miss that brow pencil, if I'm being honest. I was looking through some of my videos from the previous years, and I really liked how some of my, how my brows looked in some of my videos. And I think it was whenever I was using the Goof Proof, because I want to say for a large majority of the year last year, I was trying to finish up that brow pencil, and I liked the way my brows looked. So I don't know if maybe I would reconsider purchasing it. Maybe if I could get it on a sale, purchase a mini, or if I'm just kind of missing that more like teardrop shaped brow pencil. I don't know, so we'll see, but I do miss that one. That one was a favorite of mine last year. I obviously haven't owned it since I finished it last year, so it's obviously not a favorite currently. But that is definitely a really great brow pencil with that triangular shape if you're looking for that. Two brow products that I still have, however. The first one is the Milani Stay Put Brow Color. This is just a brow pomade. I don't even know if I've used this year. I hate to say that. I feel like I'm exposing myself, but I have the shade Brunette in this one, and I am just not a brow pomade girl. I know that pencils can be a little bit wasteful because of how quickly you can run through them, but I really don't run through brow pencils that quickly. So I don't really mind having brow pencils because of the fact that I don't really run through them that quickly. But this might be a declutter, but I really enjoyed just how easy and effortless this was to use. So that's probably why I included it in my 2020 favorites. And then I did mention the Urban Decay Brow Blade. So if you're not familiar with this product, it has an ink stain on one side and a brow pencil on the other. So one of the bad things about this one is it doesn't come with a spoolie. That's not necessarily like, That's not necessarily a reason for me not to like the product because I have spoolies within, you know, my brushes and all of that. But this is a great one. This is a really, really great formula. I love the ink stain. I really enjoy the brow pencil too. So overall, I think this is a really great brow pencil. I haven't tried any other ink stains except for the one from Profusion, but I'm still testing that one out. So I can't really give you my opinions on that yet, but it is very affordable. So if I end up liking it, that'll be pretty exciting. But this is still a really great one. I used it more so, I feel like, in 2021, which is interesting. I feel like it's easy to kind of go overboard with this product, especially if you aren't, you know, comfortable with using this product yet. So definitely, you know, practice makes perfect, that kind of thing, but I still like that one. Now we're getting into some eyeshadow palettes. So of course, you know, I had to mention my Natasha Denona palettes. So last year, Natasha Denona really did well for herself because she came out with the bronze and the glam palettes. The bronze palette she came out with first, and this was kind of her, you know, just expanding her midi sized palettes. And this one is absolutely beautiful. It's not a favorite. It's just very, very warm toned. I'm not a warm toned gal. I much prefer neutrals. And then I, of course, love my cool tones. And speaking of cool tones, the glam palette is beautiful as well. I much prefer the glam palette to the bronze palette because, like I said, I just don't reach for warm tones very much. I still love these midi palettes though, and again, I love pulling them out for special occasions, and they're eyeshadows that I know that I can trust. I then also mentioned, which I'm kind of shocked, but I mentioned the Alter Ego Goddess palette. I got this for Christmas in 2019, and this one is supposed to be a dupe for the Natasha Denona Gold palette. Actually, a really great formula for a very affordable like eyeshadow formula. Like, it is a great formula for considering the fact that it's only $16. That's what I'm trying to say. But this is beautiful. I don't even know if I've used this year, which is so sad. I need to, because this is such a beautiful, like, holiday themed palette, if I'm being honest. So this one is good. Definitely not a favorite though. And then I mentioned the ColourPop Stone Cold Fox palette. Now, I mentioned this one because I had actually just gotten it almost towards the end of last year, and this is literally just a mega, like, cool toned palette. It is perfect if you are someone who loves cool tones. This, I feel like if you just want one cool toned palette, this will be it. You can literally just, anything you can dream of is within this palette. If you're wanting those cool tones, they have like a beautiful silver in this palette. You have a little bit more of like those cool tone mauve colors within this palette. So I like this one, but it tends to get a little bit overlooked within my collection, and I think it's because of just how giant it is, if I'm being honest. But it's a really, really great formula from ColourPop. So I do recommend the Mega palettes for sure, especially if you don't have a lot of eyeshadow palettes and you're wanting just to kind of have those staples within your collection. I think the ColourPop Mega palettes are great options for that. Now we're getting into some lip products. I'm really proud of myself and how quickly I'm going through this video. It's impressive, if I'm being honest. Oh, before I move on, because I don't want to completely skip over these, I did mention for cream shadows, these Maybelline Color Tattoos. These are just like 24-hour cream shadows, and I have the shades High Roller, which is more of like a taupey color, and Socialite, which is my personal favorite. And I think mine are starting to dry up just a little bit, but these are still favorites for sure. I absolutely love just having these cream shadows within my collection. I think they're a really nice, easy, and quick way to just apply a little bit of color on the lids without having to put in too much effort, and they still have a little bit of like a shine to them, so it does look like you tried probably way more than you actually did. So I still really enjoy those. This year I did dive in a little bit into some like Tom Ford and Revlon ones. So yeah, I still love all of those cream shadows though. So now we're getting into lip products. So last year, of course, I mentioned my Too Faced liquid lipsticks. I still love these. I'm honestly a little bummed that they didn't come out with a like holiday liquid lipstick set like they have been for the past 2 or 3 years. Last year's was my ultimate favorite. I loved that set so much. This one is their newest one though, and it's in the shade Cinnamon Bun, and this came out whenever the Cinnamon Swirl palette came out, and this is a beautiful nude color, and this should still be available, so if you're wanting to pick it up, it should still be like at Ulta and Sephora. But I just love the Too Faced liquid lipsticks. I think they're one of the best out there in my opinion, and the fun like packaging and the fun scents that they include just kind of make it an even better experience if I'm being honest. So I really enjoy these still. And then last year I really fell in love with this lipstick, and this is the e.l.f. Sheer Slick Lipstick in the shade Golden Pear. I loved this one because I felt like it paired with so many of like my like fall toned eye looks that I was coming up with. This is such a stunning lipstick color, and the formula is really nice too. And I feel like it came out around the fall time last year, which I felt like was perfect timing because again, this was such a beautiful color for fall. And similarly, the Buxom Pumpkin Spice Latte Lip Gloss came out last year, and this was also a favorite of mine last year. Something about makeup and being festive at the same time, it's like my two favorite worlds collide. Like, so I love the fact that this was, you know, pumpkin spice themed, and it was a beautiful kind of like, it almost looked like this color but in a gloss. I mean, it was perfect. So I still love this one for sure, and I think that the ones that they released in 2020 were far better than the ones they released this year. And then I did mention the Persona glosses. I do have a few of these. The shade that I specifically mentioned was the shade Honey. This is really nice. I'm exposing myself again. I don't know if I've even used this year. Oh, I am so bad, right? But I feel like all of our lip products have really taken a hit because of the pandemic. I feel like we were maskless for a while, and then now, like, you know, they're highly encouraged, and then now with flu season, I still want to like wear my mask just to be safe. So I feel like my lip glosses especially aren't getting the most love for me, but the Persona glosses are nice, but I for sure like love like the Dose of Colors ones, and so there's just like some other ones that I like prefer. I of course love like the Fenty Gloss Bombs, so there's that. So we are almost done. Now I have setting sprays, and setting sprays I still really like. I definitely do. I did mention this one. This is the Bare Minerals Dew Mist setting spray, and this is a beautiful setting spray. I actually picked mine up from Marshall's for $9.99. If you can find this at your Marshall's or TJ Maxx, I highly recommend it because it is a beautiful setting spray. I feel like it really does a good job at setting the skin, but also just providing a little bit of a glow. So I do love that one still. I'm honestly almost done. I think if I concentrated on that one, I could probably finish it pretty quickly. I also mentioned, again, something that I'm shocked about. I mentioned the ABH Dewy Set setting spray. Really shocked that I mentioned this one because this is very dewy. Like, I have to be a little bit careful when I use this. I definitely like to use this on days where my skin is feeling a little bit drier, or maybe I went in with a more like mattifying foundation where I know that my skin could still benefit from a dewy complexion, because this is very dewy. I love the packaging. I still have quite a bit of product in here. So again, I'm just kind of shocked that I mentioned this one. And then this one is my final product that I'm going to talk about today, and I'm so in love with this still. This is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. This I love so much. As you can tell, I have used a lot of this. I love this. I love the scent. I love just how hydrating it is on the skin. I love that it really just kind of like refreshes your skin. I love this before makeup. I love it during makeup, during the process of makeup application. I love it after makeup. I mean, I love this. I hope that they keep this around. I'm pretty sure that they will, but I love this so much, and I definitely can see myself repurchasing this once I finish it. And yeah, I really enjoy that. So these were all of my favorites from 2020. Some of them I still really love to this day, and you guys know about those products because, you know, they're products that I still talk about like to this day on my channel. And then some of these, like I said, I was a little bit surprised that I mentioned them, but you know, as time goes on, you know, your preferences change and what you gravitate towards changes, especially because sometimes like your skin type changes a little bit. So anyways, I'm really excited to film my 2021 favorites video. So be on the lookout for that one. Stay tuned, subscribe so that you can, you know, be notified about that video, ring the bell, all of that. Also, if you did enjoy this video, please give this video a thumbs up. And also, I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of my YouTube channel family here. I hope that you're enjoying Vlogmas, and I hope that you're having a wonderful month of December, wherever you are. And thanks again for all of your support, and I will go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye!